It is springtime. It is barbecue season. People probably thinking, okay, the Leaf game's coming on. Got some playoffs there. Got some Blue Jay stuff going on. The Raptors for the 1 hour that they'll be in the playoffs. Maybe we should go out and grill some meat. That can't be bad, right? Grilling is a right. It's probably in the Bible if you look hard enough. Grilled meats. Don't sell it short. But does that mean we can have as much as we want? And if we do, what are the ramifications? And do we have some of those magic pills from Bell Lifestyle Products that we can find to save us when we do bad things? And so now we go to David Park from Square One in Mississauga Nutrition House, our good friend. How you doing this morning, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, Mike? How's it going, Brennan?
Well, we're getting ready for this playoff season in Toronto, which generally has been a very short one. So this is a feeling of, okay, but do we have a chance? Are you telling me there's a chance? There's 1 in a million. What is it? What is the number? What is your feeling, David Park?
I don't know. There's always a chance, but I'm always worried about what the refs are going to do. You know, they're always quick to blow that whistle on us and on the players. And I feel like there's like a, you know, they always say that there's like that sixth man, which is the crowd. But then the seventh man, I think, is on their team, which is the ref.
Oh, so I did not see this coming this morning. The let's blame the referees for 6 years of futility of the playoffs. Well, does Bell Lifestyles have a pill for bad refereeing? Because maybe we need some of that. But the topic today is about the time of season where we call it barbecue season. It's as I said, it's one of the things that we look forward to. I mean, look. I grill all year long. Like the barbecue is never off during the winter. Like we grill all year long. Wow. But there are certain, I guess, risks. And some of my friends that started saying that they had gout. I'm like, gout? What is that? What are you talking about? And they'd say, well, you know, red wine, certain grilled meats and so on. I honestly, David, I've heard of it, but I just thought it was like an old person's thing. But I'm sure I'm not really understanding what gout even is.
Yeah, some people do say it's an old person thing because it does affect a lot of people, especially guys, though. It affects more guys than it does men, than it does women. And it does affect, it has been called the rich man's disease. So maybe that's one of the reasons why you got it. I'm not sure. But it was called the rich man's disease before because only the rich could afford the gravies, the cheeses, the sauces, the meats on hand. And these meats and then these gravies and all these rich foods, it does play, it's kind of cumbersome for the digestive system because we need to break down these rich, one of the breakdown chemicals that we produce is something called purines. And these purines will lead to a lot of the uric acid levels that elevate. And uric acid is not a fun thing all the time because when it collects, especially in certain areas like the extremities, such as the big toe, it's quite painful. Uric acid levels, as they increase, they like to collect in an area where it's not too hot, where it's actually a little bit cooler. And so usually it kind of collects in that big toe because it's so far away from the heart, right? And as it collects in the big toe, it's a throbbing, jabbing pain. It's red, it's inflamed. And even as you're sleeping at night, that bed sheet that comes down on your toe, it's like someone slamming like a cinder block on it. It's so painful. But you did mention Bell Lifestyles. They do have an amazing product. It's called the Gout Formula. And the Gout Formula is an all natural formula made by Bell Lifestyles. It's amazing, and it's one of their top selling products for gout, and men love it all across North America just because it helps the digestive process in that it helps break down these harmful uric acid levels in our body, and it helps it reduce it so we can enjoy some of our barbecued meats from time to time. And if you do have some sort of get together with, you know, there's going to be some rich foods and wines and cheeses and dairy alcohol, definitely take your Gout Formula by Bell during that time because it helps really reduce the happenstance that it could occur that you might have an attack of gout. And if you do, you're going to be out for some time.
You know, for some of my friends who talked about some of those issues, sometimes in the shoulder, but the toe obviously is a big one.
Yeah.
Um, I would equate it to, if we're talking about sports, it's a little bit, it feels like turf toe, which is what keeps those athletes out for such a long time, because you touch that inflamed area, it is excruciating. And that's why people said, well, turf toe, how bad can that be? Well, they'll put them in a foot cast. I mean, you can't walk on it. And so if you're sleeping, that your feet move around, holy smokes, I couldn't imagine how tough that is. Now, I suppose when we look at it, we talked about the grilled meats, and you mentioned grilled meats, cheese, alcohol. Okay, that's literally 3 of the 4 things in my diet. The 4th thing, candy. So, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. I mean, can you regiment it? Like, do you in fact, I read something, and this was, I hated this. The grill marks, and you get the, where you see the searing and so on. People are like, oh, if you read an article, anything that's got the charcoal, the searing on it, it's bad. I'm like, that can't be bad. They're lying, right? They're liars. Can you say they're liars? Liars?
I wouldn't say that they're full liars, but I mean, if those grill marks are in between other marks that are also black and charred, then probably not. But yeah, it's small grill marks are okay. But as long as we're cleaning the grill properly and we're removing all the hardened black cancer causing charredness, it's those things are not very good for us.
So what's the cancer part of it? Because that's what they talked about, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. What have they found in the meat, on the charring, the charcoal, sort of the black stuff? What is it that they're talking about? What issue is that?
I think it's altogether it's like glycation. I think it's like the meats that are heated to a certain degree, and then sometimes they're marinated with all those sugars, and then the proteins and the sugars, and then our body kind of breaks it down, but it doesn't really break it down. So it's leading to more hardening of our blood, of our arteries. And you know what? Like, one of the shows that we talked about not too long ago is blood pressure and cholesterol formula. One thing that I wanted to mention is, I think with gout and just men in general, I think once in a while we could probably donate blood. And a lot of guys really don't donate too much. I did a couple months ago, and my levels dropped significantly. My cholesterol levels, my blood pressure levels. And when a pint of blood leaves your body, we're going to be creating more blood soon after, like in the next days and weeks soon after. But during that time, when we're reducing all that blood, that's when we can bring in more products from Bell Lifestyles, like that gout formula, like that cholesterol formula. And then your body gets a little bit more concentrated with all these great nourishing ingredients from Bell. And you know what, like, a lot of women, they menstruate. Men, we don't really menstruate. We don't even lose blood so much anymore. Like, maybe like in the 1500s or 1600s, we'd be losing some blood. Nowadays, I mean, if we get a little nick, we're looking for that Band-Aid. We're trying to heal up that cut so fast. So, and I think the Canadian Blood Services also needs to I'm providing a plug for them too, but I think it's important from time to time for guys to just donate.
Well, that is interesting too, because it when you start talking about gout and so on, as you go through schooling and sort of certain education, and we understand about weight, and we understand about we talk about cholesterol and blood pressure, but they really don't address this very much. It's the one thing that seemingly kind of falls in the cracks a little bit, which is why I think we know so little about it. So when it does occur, probably a lot of guys can't understand why their toe would hurt. They wouldn't know those kinds of things, which is why I think stuff like this is important that we're talking about this morning, simply because there might be a couple of guys out there going, I didn't think it was that, because the pain, as we said beforehand, our good friend Tim Allen, who had gone through a little bit of that. I mean, this is how he found, I think, a lot of the Bell Lifestyle stuff was addressing that issue, because that's how effective a lot of the Bell Lifestyle stuff is. Again, we're not talking about magic pills. We're not talking about one thing and it's gone. This is to sort of get into your system to help your body, should you have those issues, fight it off. Right.
And yeah, you're right. Like, gout is also it also is almost like a masked symptom. It could be, as you said, turf toe, or an injury for someone that's pretty athletic. It could also be just simple arthritis. Also, other things that affect the big toe is a bunion, where the big toe kind of shifts towards the other toes. And so even I thought I had gout as well, but I checked my uric acid levels; they were normal, and actually, it's a bunion. So, over time, like we all sag, we all like gravity gets the best of us, and then all the our feet get flat-footed as well. But take a look at the diet. If you've got like foot pain or mid-foot pain or big toe pain, what are you drinking? Are we drinking too much alcohol, red wine, beer? Are we drinking too much pop, caffeinated beverages, lattes, and the like? We should try to consider having some distilled water as well. It's just plain H2O. It'll really help the calcification of our body. It'll really help with reducing the amount of heavy metals that come in as well. But distilled water, even like things like celery juice, are really, really helpful when we have those attacks of gout. And
where do you find celery juice? Got to be
oh,
honest, I ain't looking for that.
Yeah, I know, right? But you know what? If you do, there are some places that have that celery juice, but it's also found in a lot of the Bell Lifestyle products too, as some of the ingredients. Yeah. So, and if you do, you might have gout, you might not have gout, you might have a bunion, you might have arthritis. You can reach for that gout Bell Lifestyles formula, and if you do use it, you won't have any issues. You won't have any kind of repercussions by taking something that's preventative.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Oh no, I think that's a very good point. Well, David, thanks so much for this morning. A lot of things there, including a theory on NFL or NBA refereeing. Maybe
That's
conspiracy. Right. Is it a conspiracy? Just like House of Cards. This is very interesting stuff this morning. I did not see this coming. And always great to talk to you. And hopefully I'll see you again soon, pal. Wonderful job and best of luck. And once again, if people want to go and see David, and you really should, because it's a great experience out there. It's Square One in Mississauga Nutrition House. And you're absolutely going to love the treatment that he gives all his customers, because it's first rate. And you ask about Bell Lifestyle products, he's going to know what it is that you want. So thanks so much this morning here, Dave.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Take care. Have a great week.
That is David Park, once again, Nutrition House in Square One in Mississauga. And we were talking about gout relief here this morning. That is number 89 gout relief.